Hello, let's get started. So first of all, very sorry that this week I'm super busy because EuroPython is happening. In case you don't know, I am the organizer and also I'm speaking there. And we will have a sprint tomorrow for Terminus DB Python client. So that's amazing. And but I really want to do this week because actually I skipped Guido's Q&A because I really want to do this. I don't want to skip my broadcasting too often, and also I really want to finish this project. So it's a bit of a mess here. I'm so sorry about that. I gotta uh, just quickly recap what we have done last week and explain a little bit of this mess. I'm so sorry. This is kind of work in progress because I don't have that much time to fix it between last time and this time. I work a little bit. I still have things that I haven't figured out what's the best to do, and sometimes it's because the client itself is not designed to work the way that I wanted. So it also gives me an insight how to improve the client, which is good. So I just going to give a very quick very quick show of what we are doing here. I really want to catch maybe just a little bit. Hi, Piro. Did I pronounce it correct? I don't know. I know it's your nickname on Twitch, but hello. Yeah, that's I'm glad that people are watching because otherwise I would be skipping EuroPython to do something that nobody watched. But yeah, thank you for coming, Piro. And I just want to show you what I've done last time in case you haven't watched it, and also just kind of go through what mess I'm in right now these days, and hopefully we will get something done today. Okay, so sorry, my tab is also a big mess. I was working very hard on it. So I think the first thing I want to show is that actually I have another script that's without this script, you won't be able to do anything that I'm doing today. Okay, so this script, actually what we're doing is we have built a schema for the Terminus DB client, and no, I mean the schema for the database in the Terminus DB. What am I talking about? Okay, so here, by the way, I think the background information is about Spacie, so I'll just quickly hop into Spacie documentation. So so I hope that you are fairly familiar with Spacie. What they are doing. I'm actually using one of the example as the demonstration here. So let me jump into the usage. Yeah, actually, because I will refer to the API, but the usage is the most important thing at the moment here. So not about GPU. I don't care about the GPU. Can I have a look at what I was looking at last time, which is linguistic features? Okay. Yeah, it's on the other page. So I'm actually doing what they have here. So they have all these sentences, you see, and so they would have actually I think I've showed you last time, but when you build a model from Spacie, that actually you just load in, well, you have to load the model. So if you're new to Spacie, you have to remember you have to download the model. So you have to follow actually if you run this code and you don't have the model here, it will just prompt you to a way to how to download it. Just go back to your command line interface and do it. So and then you can actually have a sentence and then just use the NLP from this Spacie model, and then it will generate doc. So in a doc, actually there's a bunch of tokens, and for each tokens there's all these different properties, and also it will lead to a head token. So it will point to another token, which is kind of like this. So it will point to another token. This is how a sentence is structured. So what Spacie does is that it do a very good job of actually breaking down all these word. So it can put a sentence into a structure that is kind of for linguists to study. So I don't know much about linguistic. I just I do NLP as a hobby. I love the AI kind of data science coding aspect of it, but I'm nowhere near a linguist, so I can't really do explain a lot on that side. But You can see that, I only know some basic. I think I've only taken one linguistic course in my university year. It was when I was doing an exchange program in Rice University in Houston, US, and it was fun. But it's harsh to study in a place so far away from my home, and the culture is so different as well. So it was a bit difficult to study at the time, but it was fun. So yeah, so you could have all these properties. So I think last time I've showed it that for all these tokens that we created, we have a bunch of properties that is available. Yeah, so you have all these properties. It actually provides more than that, but to make things simple, we just use this as an example. We just have these. Plus, we would find the head, the child, and of course the dog. What was the original document of it, to make this connection kind of make sense, kind of show you how we can actually traverse the whole kind of structure of the sentence by traversing the graph. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, just want to make sure my streaming is doing okay. So right, so let's go to the code. So this is the code that we are building a schema. So without this schema, the graph won't work. So this is the first thing that you have to run. I put it, well, I know that I'm using Jupyter Notebook. Well, it doesn't look like so, but I just changed the theme of it. It's using Jupyter themes. You can look it up and change it to the duck theme or any theme that you want. So I'm actually using Jupyter Notebook, but this is not a Jupyter Notebook. This is just a POI file. I write it in a POI file because I basically like this building a schema, script to be to be executable. If I just for example run this Python spacey schema.py, then it would just run the whole thing. So that's why I like putting it there, so it's easier for me to reset as well. I won't accidentally mess with it if I put it in a Jupyter Notebook. So yeah, so I create two objects. So one is the spacey docs, and the other is the token DT. So it's a token doc type, and so these are two doc types, and the spacey doc is just it's just a doc. It doesn't have much properties, and it got a label and the description. So I'm using the new syntax here. And today I asked in EuroPython, and you all tell me that you prefer using this multi-parameter way of doing things. So I also prefer that, so that's why I do that. You can still do the old way if you're already familiar with Terminus DB client. Then you could do it the old way, chaining the label and description. But this is just what I preferred, and I put that in. It's my work, so I love it. Okay. So token doc type, that is a bit more complicated. I have got all these properties. So these ones are the ones that I showed you before. So what I've changed from last episode is that I changed these to Boolean, because last time it doesn't work. The reason being because I've actually released a new patch in the Terminus DB client, because before it's only the string and a few more others, I think decimal and integer, would be recognized as an XSD type. So for Boolean, actually you have to just before, if you're using the old client, so you have to put in XSD Boolean to make sure that it's Boolean, because the client doesn't recognize Boolean as a special type. Okay, you just recognize it as just an object, and it doesn't have it. So it's just recognize things a doc type like spacey token, but it's not. It's a Boolean, special, data type. So so you have to put XSD in the front to make sure that it is recognized. But now for the new patch version 0.2.2 of the Terminus DB client, then it would recognize Boolean as well. So I added in for myself. So yeah, so you can also use that. You can benefit. Terminus DB, hey, I guess that's Luke. Hey, hello. Hello. So yeah, actually Guido is doing a Q&A at EuroPython. So if you want to watch that, I won't blame you. But anyway, so yeah, I also have all these that is from the example above that I show you, and not above, but on the spacey documentation. And all these three are actually the different objects that is related to this token that we basically, well, this is just a mother of it, right? It's just a parent, it's the document that this is the token is part of. Oh, thank you. I'm way more interesting. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, because I am also because I fire in some questions for Guido and I'm not able to listen to the answer, but I do have friends there to help me to listen to it, and also they will be recorded, so it's fine. I just like, yeah, because I really want him to answer my questions. Okay, so yeah, so spacey token. So this is the head. So this is actually like what the head of the word. So actually all the tokens will have a head and possibly some child, not necessary, but like sometimes more than one children. So so yeah, this is kind of doing that, and this document. And then for schema, we can just like combine these two by using the plus operator. I have just added this in to do an overload to make the schema, just contain this two. So it's kind of like wrapping it with a WoqL and, if you are familiar with what we had before. So I can now use the plus operator. It's actually more useful, I think. So I use it all the time, trust me. So yeah, and then this whole schema thing, I'll just execute it, and I can put in a customized, commit message here. And these are all like running the whole thing. It's just like, create a database. If it's not exist, then I will just delete it and create it again. So this is actually for resetting the schema. So like, for example, I come in and want to change something, and then I can reset the whole schema by deleting the graph. So yeah, be careful about what you're doing, I would say. I have to actually like put a warning here, like saying like, delete the ori original schema. Actually, the whole database. Database, if the schema is updated. Actually, you don't have to delete it and start it again every time. For Terminus DB, you could actually yeah, you can actually like do an update on the schema, so you can change it. You can, you can write another script to like, delete something that you don't want. For example, I changed this of from string to boolean, so you can just like actually remove them and then add them back in with the boolean. You can do that without deleting everything, but I think it's just like for me, because the data I can also reproduce, so it doesn't matter so much. So that's fine. And I will save this, so it will be there. Okay, so this is the big mess that I'm going to I was working on. So first of all, like this is actually the same thing that like at the end of the other script. So just like connecting to the database, I realized that I actually don't need this, because if you don't have the schema, if you don't have the graph already, if you create a new one, then you won't have the schema, and basically it's gonna be useful. So I'm just gonna delete this. So every time just like connect back to the database that you have. Okay. So yeah, this is just like for me, like debugging, so I can just ignore it for now. Yes, okay. So yeah, so what I was messing around is I'm trying to see if I can generate an ID without using idgen. So I try to use the URL library and to parse it, but like it seems like it's not working as I wanted. So please ignore it for now. Basically, we need that because we have to break down the sentence into a document and tokens. Pretty print just for me debugging. You can ignore it. So like this is actually generating this query that basically do the ID gen, and also so it will take in the doc, and well, it's like for token, it will take in the doc and the token, and also it will take a variable name. So this is actually what you would call when you so this, you need that to link it up with the other part of your query. So yeah, you have to have this. So like you can customize it, like which variable name you're gonna use when you're writing the other parts of the query. So it's just like for you to link it up. You'll see why I do that in a bit, because I'm still working on it. Yeah, it's a bit like difficult. I'm thinking like whether there's an easier way to do it, and it's like maybe I will have some meeting with my colleague later to talk about that. So this is what we are doing with Spacey. We load in the model. So again, like if you don't have the model, if you run this code, it will prompt you to download it somewhere. And then you can, just generate the model here, use the model to, kind of analyze the sentence and have your document. And then in here, we would have a, so I will just do the idgen. So this is actually this query object that is generating the ID. So this is part of the query, and so I would write the other part of the query, inserting this object inside. So this one needs to be changed. So this one needs to be so this one as well. So I have to provide a variable name. So let's do this now. And the variable name, I would call this the I don't know what to call it. So this is the doc ID. I'll just call it doc ID for now. And in here, this is like how you link it up, because for the first part of the query, it will have a v :.id here generated. So you have to mention it again somewhere in the other part of the query, so it got linked up. So yeah, and actually, oh, my phone is here. Yeah, I was like, where was my phone? So it's here. Okay, fine. Yeah, then like this is my backup. Like my phone is my backup, like to look at the chat when my other computer is frozen. Because it may, because like all my computer are overworked this week because of EuroPython. Do all this streaming and all this stuff, so it's super busy. Okay, so we have that, and then this is our actually document object. So we put it in. The type is a spacey doc. So this is all according to the schema. So like you say, well, why I do this? Like why is spacey doc? Oh, because I call it so in the schema, so that's why. Label, I would just put in the text. So the original text, this will be the label of it, so it's very clear what it is. So okay, so query. So this is basically just like when you, for example, when you loop from 1 to 10, you want to add up like from 1 to 10, and then so you would have a a sum equals to the total sum equals to 0, and then you just add it one by one. So this is basically like saying it's 0. It's an empty query that I created, because like afterward I just like add all these query on top of it. So that's why I do this. So I just loop over all the tokens in doc, and in the token, then I don't need this anymore, I believe. So I can print out what I have. This is like, it got print out. This is actually the same as the example that we have. It's not necessary. Actually, you don't need that, so ignore it. I'm going to delete it afterwards. It's just like checking whether things are working fine. So we have insert token. So we actually create more query to insert a token here. So, oh, these may be the bug. I'm using the same name here. So, yeah, I should make it different. Yeah, because I was like in a hurry and I was like changing all the code and stuff, and this may actually made a mess for me. Okay, so yeah, so I have this, and then when I insert a token, I have I will insert. So this I haven't done this, so this will be so here this is the token generated. So this is the self token here. So it's I just call it v : token ID self. So because this is itself, so it's self, and the type is spacey token, and token.text. So this is for the labels of what word it is. Okay, so all these property I just like put them in. So again, like this is just to make sure that this one become just a plain old good old like data type string here for the graph, and for the boolean as well. This is the new thing that I add in together with my fixes. So this is available in Open 2.2, not before. So if it's before, then you have to do it, write it in a JSON kind of way. So that's why I add this in. So this is better. So yeah, this is the token ID head. So this one will be this, and I just need to add this one as well. So this will be the doc. So I need to do a, so I add another one here. So this will be oops. Yeah, this indentation is killing me. Okay, so doc ID. So I generate a doc ID. So the name I will call it token doc. Okay. Token.id, yeah, whatever. So this need to be matching with this, okay? So, yeah. Right. So so yeah, basically you're all becoming my rubber duck right now, because yeah, because like sometimes like I just saw some bugs, that I didn't saw before. So it's really good to say it out loud. So okay, so this are the bunch of so maybe I could make it better like this, and these may also cause me problems with all these spaces and tabs, so maybe I need to, because yeah, for this theme it's difficult to see whether it's a tab or a space, and this doesn't change all the tab into spaces or space into tab, so I may have to go back to fix it afterwards. But anyway, so this is the whole thing here. That's actually these are all the like things that I'm doing for just one token, and I'm summing them up. And here then I will have the dog and also the token here. So I bring them together and then I'll execute them. So let's see if that works. And yeah, it's not inserting anything, so this is the strange bit that I thought because of this. But the interesting thing is that if I don't do this, if I don't do this one, and actually, although it's still not working, I don't know why. So yeah, this is like where I got stuck. So sorry, I actually need some time to fix this. I don't know why it's not working. Um, yeah, this is super strange. This is like, it's updating nothing for some reason. And what we could do is that we could try to just like update the docs, and it should work for just the doc. Yeah, so this one is oh, maybe because I already have it, so that's why it's not inserting anything. So let's see. Right. Yeah, so it got the document in it, but like when I insert the tokens, then it doesn't like it for some reason. Yeah, that's super strange. And let's go back to the code and let's see what we can do about it. Okay, so we are like problem solving right now. Yeah, so this is like insert. Oh, maybe I haven't. Oh, well, no, this is the object, right? So, and yeah. Yeah, this is super strange. I don't know why it is doing things like that. This is why this is not updating, but this is matching, right? So this is token ID. That's here. Head and the doc of it. So let's not add things. So see if I can just add this doc here. But yeah, but it should be fine if I'm missing some of them. So at least this one should be added, but I don't know why this kind of here, it kind of fails me. Insert token. So let's see if I ignore this too, right? So if I ignore this, and then, so token. So if I do it here, brick, then I'm just like inserting one token here. So yeah, this is going to be useful when I pre-print it, and I can see what's going on in here. And so yeah, you can see the JSON here is super small. I would avoid like looking at the JSON of it because I really don't like it, and it's very difficult to see. So okay, so we have a query list element, and we do have a spacey token is generated, and we do have a key list. So this would all be the data type properties, and you have the string of it. Value. So I guess this is the document, but why it's got like a bunch of strings? It's very, very strange. And not integer. Yeah, there's something wrong with that, I think. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so why is like a big list of things? It should be maybe, yeah, maybe one of the variables, like I was not expecting a string, but it became a string. Okay, so maybe doc.text become a string? I don't know, let me have a look, but it should be just a bunch of, oops, let me make it smaller again, so maybe let me check this. Yeah, it's just a string, and why is like breaking it down is super strange. And yeah, if I'm not going to solve it in 5 minutes, I think I'm just going to stop because I don't want to waste your time watching me like struggling. And I'll try to come up with like the solution next week. I'm so sorry, like I'm still like, because yesterday I was debating whether I should cancel today's streaming. I don't want to cancel on people because myself, I hate people cancel on me, so I would like, I don't like canceling people, so yeah. But so this is a string of this, so this become the prefix of it, which I think it makes sense. And then so this is the text that I put it in. So again, it's a string, and then var. So this looks okay to me. I don't know why it doesn't like it. And yeah. So I'm not even like, when I insert it, I'm not even dealing with the, you know what, I gotta print out the insert doc, because I'm just like trying to put an insert doc in it, but it's, yeah, let's see what's going on. So this one does work, right? If it's just insert doc. This one, yeah, this one does work because it's just the same thing. It doesn't upload it again. So like, but if I do the insert all tokens as well, so I just like, now I just like execute insert all tokens. See what's going on. So yeah, I got a bunch of these, and oh yeah, it's inserting 9 things. Okay, so I think the problem maybe is because of this one here. So let one step further. So let me try to have all the tokens in it. Okay, so I'm not going to print it out this time. It's gotta be super big, and I gotta do the docs again. I don't know whether I need these though, because the doc is already in, so maybe it doesn't like putting things in double, but it should be fine. Yeah, like now it's saying that it's not inserting anything. That's super strange. So maybe I'll just like insert all tokens to see what's going on. I still say 0. So so maybe this adding up things is not working very well here. So what I gotta do is that I gotta change my strategy. So I gotta make it like a list. Okay, so do it the old way. So all tokens will be just a list, and I'll just do an append here. So all token dot append. Okay, append all these stuff, and then I have all token dot execute. Let's see what's going on. Okay, oops, I have some kind of indentation doesn't match. In line 13, I really can't tell. Oh, here is it. Yeah, right. Okay, list object. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to do a WoqL end here. WoqL query dot WoqL, and yeah, I just gotta do this the old way instead of the plus here. So maybe the plus equals to is not working as expected. So I may have to fix that. And yeah, what's going on now? Slice is not star. Oh, this is super strange. And oh, sorry, it got frozen. It got frozen. Okay, I may have to end soon. My computer is like really overworked. Yeah, I don't know what it's complaining about. And execute all tokens is why? Which part of it doesn't like? Yeah, okay, this is something inside the contains update check. So what I gotta do is that I gotta, I gotta stop here, actually, because like I said, today's gonna be shorter, and it seems like there's still some instability in the. So by the way, I'm using a dev version of the DB client here. So maybe because of like the instability, it's because I'm using a dev version. I'm not using the 0.2.2, because there are some new changes in it. Like so yeah, I have to double check what's going on. But it should be compatible. I don't know. I have to really like triple check, double check, and yeah, sorry about like being so rushed and hurry, because today's EuroPython and things are being really like compressed together. Next time we would have this all cleaned up. We would have like promised I would get this like working, and I would have a deeper look into what all these things means, like why it's got this like contains check update error here. Um, yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'll see you next time. And sorry about the short episode, but yeah, I hope you can join the sprint tomorrow because the sprint is free to join. You can just go to EuroPython's website and just click on register, and then you can get a free sprint. So it's your last time to sign up. So please sign up and join us the sprint. We can actually speak together about all these things, what you want it to be designed. So because when you're using it, you actually see a lot of things that you don't like. You want to change it. For example, all these things. I really want to change that. So yeah, I'll see you next week, and if not tomorrow at the sprint. But please, if you can come to the sprint, you don't have to be all the time there in the weekend. You just need to maybe join in for a few hours. You're welcome, always welcome to come in and have a look, have a chat. All right, okay. So see you. Really, goodbye. See you next week. Bye bye.